What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another edition of Wrestling After Show, emanating right here from the palatial After Show studios here in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic territory. I'm a little hoarse today, and I'll tell you all about it here in a little bit. But first off, I'm Heath Haynes.
I'm a big horse. I'm Jonny Fairplay.
There it is. And we're here to talk about some pro wrestling today, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly the stuff we like, some of the stuff we don't like, and all the things in between, other than our wardrobe, which you notice is just the psychic bond that Fairplay and I share. No discussion. We both have showed up in trucker hats, yellow shirts, and black hoodies today. Another thing we have in common is we have both escaped the confines of the Reality After Show studio over the past couple of days and participated in some live professional wrestling. So we're going to talk all about that today. First off, we're going to...
Can I interject with the first off?
What's that? Fairplay.
I mean, I don't know if you know, but a couple days ago, as in yesterday, was your birthday.
It was, indeed.
Happy birthday. I got you a present.
Oh, no.
Now, you can thank Todd Martin from the PW Torch.
Okay.
He has the Fix with Todd Martin, and he does book reviews.
Okay, and he's on the flagship show today, actually. As a matter of fact.
No, I think Jason Powell's on the flagship today.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Possibly last week. But he recommended this, and I was like, Todd, can I have it? And he goes, no,
I have it.
I keep my books.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, in lieu of you giving it to me, do you recommend it enough that I spend money? Because I'm very frugal.
Money you're going to spend.
Money
you're going to spend.
Yes. So I spent money, and he goes, he strongly suggested this as a purchase. You would love it. And so here,
the suspense is killing me, but I would be remiss if I didn't remark on your amazing rapping job that you did. Thanks so much for going the extra mile, Jonny Fairplay. I know who says he doesn't have a heart. So let's look at this thing. Dragon King Carl's Pioneer Era Pro Wrestling Omnibus, the Bible of the Pioneer Era of pro wrestling. So this is like in barns and in fucking carnivals, and
that is everything you need to know pre anything you could ever find anywhere.
Like here in the middle of the book, they're just up to 1876. So wow, and let's see where it wraps up at. Did they get to the 1900s? Did they get to the 1900s by the end? Nope, 1880s. Wow, this is an era of wrestling. As a self-avowed pro wrestling know-it-all, this is a gaping vacuum of my pro wrestling knowledge. So thank you so much, man.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. And I'm going to add it. I've got a stack on my reading stack on my nightstand at home is approaching 2 feet tall now.
My fiance's nightstand has items that large as well.
And yet I continue to just look at my phone all the time. But this is going to be great. Thank you so much for taking the time and the thoughts to wish me a happy birthday in the form. And as a matter of fact, thanks to everybody who reached out on social media, text messages, and all that stuff, wishing me a happy birthday yesterday. You're 52 years old.
52 years young.
I'm not as old as the goings on in this book.
I listened to the book review of that. Mesmerized, stupefied, mortified. You were literally gonna who knew?
Fantastic.
It is incredible how early the carnyism of it all has been going. Apparently, what 200 years?
Yeah. Well, from the dark ancient reaches of history of professional wrestling to the here and the now, we're going to talk about the current events, very current events happening in the state of North Carolina this weekend. And our brother right here, Fairplay, took part in a show in High Point, North Carolina, Revolution Wrestling Authority, where you were on commentary and witness to a few matches. Most notably, was it an NWA World Championship title defense?
No, I don't believe he has the championship anymore.
Oh, I thought he had it in that picture.
No. I don't believe. Did he? I don't think so.
You might. I'm so used to seeing EC3 with the 10 pounds of gold. Maybe I just psychologically projected it. But please tell us all about the big event this weekend.
No, in our main event, it was EC3 challenging for the Revolution Wrestling Authority heavyweight championship, currently held by Psycho Boy Fodder, who in NWA lore is EC3's boy, not his son, but that's his boy.
Yeah.
And traveling the highways and byways of America, apparently had a falling out of sorts, and EC3 came to Psycho Boy Fodder's backyard to take his title in front of his woman, Angelina Love.
Oh no.
And pre-match, there was a makeout session between Psycho Boy Fodder and Angelina Love, and then I believe there was like a biting of the finger of EC3, and EC3 was like, or the biting of the finger of EC3 and Psycho Boy Fodder, and EC3 said he could taste Angelina Love.
Oh, disgusting!
It was a lot going on.
It's close to the bone.
Yeah, literally. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Psycho Boy Fodder did escape with the RWA Heavyweight Championship, and also we saw the living legacy Ripper Zbyszko, Larry Zbyszko's son, making his grand return to the Squared Circle in High Point, North Carolina, at Revolution Wrestling Authority against Rick Reeves, one of my favorites. And it's funny, Rick Reeves, trained by the Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant,
fantastic,
wrestles like a 1983-84 Barry Windham.
No way. And that's how great.
And has tall, has that frame, and Ripper Zbyszko wrestles like Larry, trained by Larry. And so it was almost a flashback, of our youth, of what you would see in, maybe the second or third match of the Greensboro Coliseum.
So that's very interesting. So we have the future stars today in Revolution Wrestling Authorities that are actually second generation, if not in actuality, also in just sort of presentation. And that's fantastic. Let me ask you this: were you able to distinguish yourself in any of these proceedings? Did you have any notable interactions or just takeaways?
There was a 10-bell salute for the dead grandma.
That's nice.
And I did inform everyone that none of them would be seeing her in the afterlife because she is, of course, in heaven. And
everybody's going to hell.
Well,
of course.
Have you met the people there?
I've met a couple of very fine people.
I didn't mean.
I think you're casting a generalization.
But this is like you've only been to Burlington.
Oh yeah, Burlington. I'm sure it's a different caliber of crowd.
Totally different. Yeah, right. That's where the scum of the earth live. Yeah. And I should have mentioned it in some of my other press. One of her dying wishes was that everyone buy a signed 8x10 or 8.5 by 11, of course, at the show in High Point, and a lot of people did.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Did you experience an outpouring of sympathy, or was the general thought that we're sorry that your grandma had to live with you for all of her life?
No, it's crazy. There was a couple that drove over 2 hours from the other side of Asheville just to meet me. There was some fear. I don't know if it's sympathy or what, but I was over like Rover.
Wow. Yeah. Did possibly the warmth of the reception? I mean, did Fairplay's heart grow 2 sizes?
Oh God,
on Sunday.
Oh, gee, possibly shrunk 1.
That's good.
Maybe good. 3.
Well, we wouldn't. We wouldn't want to set our hopes too high. No. Is there anything else that went down on Sunday? Was there any women's action in particular?
There was. It was Caitlin. Sorry about that. She is the women's champion. Successfully defended against Leah Knight, who is the next brightest star coming out of hailing from Tacoma, Washington, and wrestled very Daniel Bryan-esque. A very strong showing from Leah Knight. I don't like the next anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'll allow the next big thing with Brock Lesnar because that was a thing.
Okay.
And it wasn't like there was already big thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's the next big thing. Like, that's good. But I don't like the next Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
The next, when it, like, be the first you.
Okay.
So the next bright star. How about the brightest star, Leah Knight?
I remember from the show that I attended with you in Burlington with RWA. I believe the Caitlin, I can't remember her last name, but I did see a graphic. She was a standout for me. I found her presentation and talents to be quite notable. Yeah. I'm glad she's still holding things down.
She is. She is. And there was a tag team match between Bad Magic, who was a very, very, very strong vote getter in tag team of the year in the Carolinas. They did not win, of course.
Okay.
But they did well. And it was the Bad Magic, who are currently the tag team champions.
Right.
And they went against the Nick D Alliance, the NDA, the Nick D Alliance of Titan, Jamal the Titan, and one of my faves, Zuka King.
Okay.
And Nick D interfered.
No.
Did not work.
Oh, wow.
The NDA lost, and Zuka King and Jamal the Titan said, "Screw you, Nick D. We're done."
Oh, wow.
No one in the Nick D Alliance right now.
The implosion of the NDA.
That's his meal tickets.
That is NDA implosion is Tony Khan's worst nightmare.
Oh,
come to life.
Wow. Yeah. At least in the tree of tree of the fabric of AEW.
Well, speaking of Tony Khan, who of course is the impresario behind All Elite Wrestling, the impresario and guiding force behind RWA is of course our friend Julian Strauss. Did he distinguish himself in any way at this particular show? Because he has been known in the past. I believe the last big event at Starcade, it was Julian Strauss versus Baby Doll.
Yeah,
was on the card. So did Julian Strauss make his presence known at this particular event?
He was a little quieter than normal because it was revealed his match with Baby Doll, in which a potentially planned spot. I don't want to tell too much how the sausage is made.
Another plan in the world of pro wrestling.
Well, potentially planned spot in which Baby Doll was supposed to put her foot on Julian Strauss for the cover. She may have put both feet and grabbed the ropes and jumped up and down and cracked 3 ribs.
I'm sure I haven't seen Baby Doll in a few years, but it's our tendency as we go through life to generally gain mass as we get older.
The perfect 20 Baby Doll.
And she was no featherweight back in the 80s. So I'm sure that was an unpleasant experience for one Mr. Strauss. Well, best wishes for him and a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Anything else from that from the big RWA extravaganza, and can you shed any light on when the possibility of a next RWA event might be coming down the road?
It's March something, maybe.
Okay.
The 30th rings a bell for some reason. I feel like I'm gonna be back from Australia then. And rumor and innuendo, Jesse Goddard's from Big Brother, House of Villains season 2,
Mr. Spectacular.
Mr. Spectacular from the what's the Netflix show? Wrestlers?
Heels.
No.
I mean, that was on Stars. You're right. But it's currently on Netflix.
No, but Heels is the
it's a scripted fictionalized.
Yeah. Well, there is a Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Oh yeah, that show. Yeah,
it's called Wrestlers.
I think if that's the one you're talking to, I think you're right.
And Jesse Goddard is a part of that.
Oh, okay.
So I believe he's national champion of Ohio Valley Wrestling right now. And of course, we all remember his time as 1/3 of Bromance in TNA.
I remember him specifically from his stint on Big Brother.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I watched Big Brother.
You like the Mr. Spectacular?
I mean, it was interesting seeing because obviously that's what he was, angling for the entire time. So yeah, man. So he's going to be at the next RWA.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Well, stay tuned to hear on Wrestling After Show for all the big news concerning Revolution Wrestling Authority. But in addition to you getting out of the house, I got out of the house yesterday on my birthday and journeyed down to one of the wrestling meccas of North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, and attended the live broadcast of Monday Night Raw last night on Netflix. And I've got a lot of thoughts about it.
Thoughts and prayers?
No, just thoughts. It was my first time actually going to Charlotte proper for a professional wrestling show. I always went to Greensboro. I did go to the Legends Fest in 2016. So I had seen professional wrestling mounted in the vicinity of Charlotte, North Carolina, but never Charlotte proper. So that was a big step or a big event in my life. Plus, it was my birthday. First thing I did, I got to give a shout out to the good folks at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, one of the East Coast preeminent comic book shops, and they got me hooked up with some good stuff. Always a good time talking to the folks at the comic book store, and they also sent me in the direction of a really super cheap burger, a super cheap burger at the Diamond, which was
I've been to the Diamond. My friend's friend owns the Diamond. I've eaten at the Diamond multiple times for free.
It was fantastic. Yeah. Well, free is great, but it wasn't much more.
No, I don't feel they broke the bank.
Very economical over the Diamond, but like great environment. It was exactly what I was looking for. So thanks to the folks at the Diamond and at Heroes Are Hard to Find in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey man, it's the Mid-Atlantic territory. It's the beauty of it. So I get down there. It was at the Spectrum Center, downtown Charlotte, where it's the basketball stadium, where the Charlotte Hornets play. And I wanted to get there nice and early. I wanted to be in my seat by 7 o'clock. So I get on site about 6:30, tooling around. I always like to get my big souvenir that I like to take away from wrestling shows is the cup. I like to get the souvenir, refills on the soda, and then that becomes my special, that's my wrestling cup. Okay. I'm enjoying a PLE, I'm in my living room, like to get my wrestling cup out, fill it up with my caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, as I'm want to do. No souvenir cup. So
I was about to say.
So that was the first of many strikeouts in the merch department, but we'll get there. So I get to my seats. Not too bad. The 200 section, row H, seat 8, and so not all the way up to the top.
Yeah, that's it. That all the way to the top in that building, it gets real vertical real quick.
It does.
I got Pearl Jam tickets for there, and I had the second they went on sale, I got them. And I got real high up, real vertical, literally frightened walking down the stairs. It's so vertical. Vowed I would never see another event in that building that high up out of fear.
Yeah, it's actually works out though, because you're correct. It does get very vertical, but that enables even the lesser expensive seats. You can still have a great view of the action. So my seat was kind of like, okay, so if I looked straight down, the stage was kind of like right there. So I was on the hard cam side, seated right behind a couple of spotlights that shone on the stage. There were a couple of I wasn't sure if main event was still a thing. They used to take the main event superstars matches, before
the international deal that they have to fulfill.
It's on Peacock. I looked it up this morning. Okay.
But in addition, I think it's an international deal that they have that's winding down.
Well, it used to be a syndicated show. So now it's featured on Peacock.
Is it just Peacock exclusive?
I think it will. I mean, that's what came up when I looked for it today. But they taped a couple of matches.
Penta was last week's event, and everyone's just like, "Oh, he's in the doghouse."
Well, this week the opened up. The curtain jerker was a tag match with Alpha Academy and A-Town Down Under. And the second match, though, is notable because it was the best women's match of the night, in my opinion. And it was Intercontinental Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria versus Alba Fire. And they had a dynamite match, I got to tell you, man. And I guess it'll be on Main Event whenever their premiere, when their new episode premieres. It'll probably be the main event of Main Event this week. And I would say seek it out if you're a fan of mat wrestling, or as like us old guys just call it, wrestling.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of mat wrestling, a lot of back and forth, a lot of near pinfalls. And I gotta say, man, the Lyra Valkyria, this is the era of audience participation with WWE, and them adding the audience participation facet of her entrance, the da-da-da-da, woo, da-da-da, that's done one. That's over. People are into it.
Okay. So you think she'll win the Royal Rumble next year?
Maybe next year. Maybe she will. So she can. Yeah. So she was, and she looks great. I love her. Show starts off, and we see Sami Zayn for the first time since his horrific attack. Great video package before the show, or during the course of the show. Just sort of detailing that whole thing. But one thing in the Raw era, in the Netflix era of Raw. So you've been to plenty of Raws and SmackDowns over the years. So I'm always used to the 10 minutes till the top of the hour when the show begins. They're like, okay, we're going to go live to USA Network right now. So everybody makes it, it's like that, getting everybody hyped up. That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Well, because they actually use it in the bumper in CIS or whatever's on before. So, and they also go, show us your signs we want to take from you before the show starts.
So that,
because I'd always be like, no, not yet.
I was waiting for that. That didn't happen. But and this is why I'm a little hoarse, rough of voice today, because I did holler and scream a lot. Well, I have to. I got to go to live wrestling every so often to make sure to maintain the tradition and to pass these traditions on to the younger audience of the way my brand of wrestling fandom and wrestling interaction, which involves a lot of yelling at the refs.
Sure.
And I don't think these kids understand that you got it. I mean,
especially the main event.
Yeah. And so I'm all the way up. And before the show even started, the guy sitting behind me was very vocal. He was very vocal about all the people he likes, all the people he doesn't like, sharing his experiences, thoughts, feelings about everything going on in the show. And I'm like, wow, this guy is going to get into it tonight.
Did he share similar beliefs?
My volume and passion and just general wrestling fandom sucked the air out of the section and the wind of the sails of this guy behind me. He piped right down after I started leaning into people. I don't know if we were disagreeing or what it was, but he quieted down.
How many tag matches did you get to see?
Last night, tag matches. Well, there was the curtain jerker.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was the only tag match of the whole show.
Did you hold them into
There were no tag ropes to be held. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I think in the first match, I think I ended up hopping up and running to the bathroom
because there were no. What was the point of being there? No tag ropes.
Yeah, well, and also my seats were kind of up there, so maybe but there was no. I did not yell for the tag ropes.
I lose my mind.
However, I did tell the ref several times. I admonished the ref to wash the hair.
Sure.
Watch the fist.
Yeah.
Close fist. Come on. And watch those tights. And where's the count? So several times admonishing the referee, which I just, and a lot of come-ons, a lot of lookouts, and a lot of there you goes. There was a lot of there you goes last night.
What about nobody's home?
There was only I defer to well scouted. That's always been my go-to.
Well played. I like that's
good old nobody's home.
I feel like I stole that from ICP. You ever watch the Juggalo Championship Wrestling?
No, thank you.
Oh, wow. I can imagine that would be your response. As well, it should be. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yes, the Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J have alter egos and do the commentary. And their favorite move to call is the old nobody's home.
Yeah, I go for the good old JR well scouted, and that usually gets
Samoa Joe is very, very well scouted. He likes to do that.
Okay, so but moving forward, I mean. The show starts off, the Sami Zayn thing. I was really excited. Booing is back.
Yeah,
in a very big way. And I think that's I think that's also due to the audience participation era. Now the audience is always looking for now's the part where I do this. Now's the part where I do this. Well, now the audience is very in tune with now is when we boo. And so Adam Pearce comes out, and of course he's giving Sami Zayn the bad news about probably he's not going to get his match.
Well, there's no way they could sanction something like that.
And he came and he was getting a chorus of boos, and that was super encouraging. That segment wraps up. And I do wish they had straight up, because I was up there just going lights out, lights out, lights out. And then it's an unsanctioned match. Of course, an unsanctioned match is also known as a lights out match. They chose not to call it that. I think the lights out has a little bit of more flair to it.
I'm okay with unsanctioned, as long as they do the lights out gimmick
and bring the lights down a little bit.
Well, no, the gimmick was they would literally turn the lights out to show. And then turn it back on.
Turn it back on. Oh, okay.
To show that it was you saw the show that you saw.
Yeah.
This is not affiliated.
And it was at the end of the night.
So that's why it was lights out.
Yeah.
It was they would turn them off and back on.
Maybe they will do that.
So I do, and we were talking students in Triple H.
Yeah.
So but that's the gimmick with the lights out.
Yeah.
Was off and on.
Yeah.
And it is non-sanctioned as whatever.
To signify that everything that happens beyond this point is
no. Can't sue us.
Yeah.
Can't sue us.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Okay.
I guess two questions. All right. So the arrivals, was that prior to Sami or after Sami? It's showing the people arrive at the.
Oh, that was before.
Okay. So AJ Styles arrives with Ricky Bobby. I'm guessing. I'm not. I didn't get clarification.
I got to tell you, I'm not a NASCAR guy. Yeah. That guy though came across in that portion, and then when he was in the crowd, clown shoes. Okay. The fucking guys they let drive these NASCAR. A complete
Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby was a fucking hell of a man. This guy was a freaking twerp.
Okay.
No time for that guy. And plus, they got to do something. There's no reason that the winner of the Daytona 500 should get that belt looked fucking better, I feel like, than the actual WWE championship at this point with that yellow strap. I thought it looked killer.
We'll talk to fanatics.com.
Yeah, they got go ahead.
So you have Ricky Bobby. Okay, did you also catch on the front row? And I literally lost my mind last night.
Yeah.
Because so the plan was you and I were both supposed to go. Thing.
That was going to be
that was the plan.
That was the attempt.
Yes. The dead grandma decided to really die the Friday before. Last week was kind of in chaos, with handling everything with funeral arrangements and the actual funeral on Friday. I had put it in the universe that we were going to go, but the people that I reached out to, some have the flu currently, others were so. I screwed up. I didn't put the pedal to the metal, but I feel like I did.
I feel like you did too, and I don't hold it against you.
But for sure. I was sitting there watching the show, and there's these two women.
I was going to say ladies, but yes.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't want to see the text I sent Jason Powell last night.
Two women
from Netflix's show Love Is Blind last season, the Charlotte season. Or no, I take that back, 2 seasons ago when they were in Charlotte.
Okay.
They're in Minneapolis this season. Unrecognizable. Literally, other than whatever the initial press for Love Is Blind, neither of these two have ever made the fucking news ever in their entire life.
Unrecognizable in that
celebrity-wise,
they have no notoriety.
0.
Okay.
Negative.
Yeah.
Front row.
On camera,
right behind Pat McAfee, all night. All night.
Yeah.
Oh no. Unless pointed to and instructed on their phone the entire time. Because they didn't care.
Yeah.
They didn't care. And I'm sitting there. So these two women.
Yeah.
Front row. Last week. Okay, let's start with the fact. I'm on fucking Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay? Survivor Pro. They showcase 2. That's one of these showcase seasons on fucking Netflix right now. A. B. Last week. TMC. People Magazine.
Rolling Stone.
Yeah. Us Weekly. UK Sun. Daily Mail. You fucking name it.
That could have been you and me.
Every major, yes.
That could have been you and me.
Guess what? We wouldn't have been on our fucking phones the whole time. We'd like 2 fucking dickheads.
Yeah. That's a legit gripe.
Lost my fucking mind.
A lot of times, Fairplay, I do get the sense that you fabricate outrage and certain things that go on.
Yeah, but entitlement.
But you're legit heated right now, and I think I'm sorry, rightfully so. Yeah, because I mean that would have been, that would have been a great opportunity, great timing. Wow. Yeah. I gotta say, I think WWE
dropped it up.
I think they dropped the ball.
Literally, not well scouted.
Not well scouted.
Thank you. All right.
I tell you, who didn't drop the ball was old AJ Styles. First off, though, I got to get to another big disappointment tonight with the announcement of fucking Lillian Garcia was the ring announcer last night, and I was like, wait a second, she's SmackDown. She is the worst, man. In light of the perfect angelic presence of Samantha Irvin, which her absence is felt every day. No, I haven't. But I'll do it right after this. So her absence is felt every day by me and wrestling fans all around the world. Not specifically just because of her angelic presence. She's a ray of light and beauty and sunshine. But she was kind of the best at being a ring announcer in like a very long time. And Lillian Garcia sounds like a Saturday Night Live caricature of if a Valley Girl stereotypical accent, if that person was a ring announcer. Everything championship and Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry, Lillian Garcia. If you have a speech impediment, I feel awful for you. That is indeed challenging. You should probably not be in this line of fucking work. She sucks so bad. So I see her, and it's like, oh great, here we go. So now I have, and the first thing she says is she announces the post-show dart match. And she said, I have to hear some of the first words out of her mouth are WWE Undisputed Championship. That is what she fucking says. Oh, I'm sorry. So now I'm heated.
Yeah.
We're coming in hot today, I guess, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Lillian Garcia sucks.
Yeah. But honestly, I get it. I think the Samantha Irvin thing, I think they thought it was going to work out. It didn't. I get it. I think Lillian Garcia could have been a great Band-Aid.
Right.
But that time has passed, and she's not cool.
She's not cool, and she legit sounds like she has a speech impediment.
Yeah.
And
I say grab like either another cool girl or young woman or another cool young guy. I want cool.
The guy that does NXT, I think, is Mike Rome. He's fine.
Yeah, but I don't. He's not the guy. I want cool.
I don't know, man. They are having a hard time figuring out exactly what the fuck they want Corey Graves to do. So maybe he becomes the new ring announcer. I don't know, but so yeah, that was infuriating. But one element of the Netflix production, because I mean the show rolls once it starts, it's rolling the entire time, and so you get a lot of entrances that happen, off camera or like during commercial breaks or whatever. Those entrances are never announced. So for this match in particular, the first match, Dominic Mysterio, no announcement, just music, video, and out he comes. So 50% of the entrances that we saw last night were unannounced, which, considering Lily Garcia, that was a blessing. So I'll take it. AJ Styles comes out, and he was super over. People were into it. I was super into it. I've missed AJ Styles.
Yeah.
I thought he was okay as a heel. I think he's such a good baby face, especially for Carolina, and now that he's got his old entrance music back.
Yeah. No, I think this is unfortunately, I feel we are closer to the twilight of AJ's career than I want it to be.
Yeah.
AJ's so smart. I mean, I've literally when I first got TNA, they flew AJ Styles out to Los Angeles to hang out with me for a week, and we just talked shop.
Yeah.
And his brain, it's just like, he goes, sometimes I want to end a match on a clothesline, so you never know. And I feel like I would like to see AJ become what we are kind of, or what we were kind of seeing Bryan Danielson become. Right. And change that style up and become more of a mat technician. And because, I mean, yes, he is phenomenal. Yes, he's done phenomenal moves throughout the years. The spinal tap being incredible. I'm not watching AJ. I don't want to see the spinal tap ever again.
Okay.
I don't have to have the phenomenal forearm. I can live with cattle mutilation.
Sure.
But we're changed, and maybe this isn't. Maybe there's another 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is it, as AJ being the phenomenal one, working that match, that moveset, CM Punk, then yes, make him a baby.
I think he's in a great position for a last run. He's super over. People were super into him last night. And another thing, in addition to educating the newer generations of wrestling fans in attendance at live events about how you properly engage with the spectacle presented before you, is I like to get a chant going, especially if we're on national television. Sure. I really like to get a chant going. So if you watched last night and you heard as soon as the bell rang in this first match, AJ Styles, one of those, I got the entire arena, but I started it. I got the entire Spectrum Arena in with the AJ Styles chant. I felt real good about it.
I prefer an AJ Styles over a Let's Go AJ. I don't like a Let's Go.
I like the name. I like Styles when you put that in there. Yeah. So I launched into that as soon as the bell rang. And
do you like everybody? Let's Go or no?
I don't care. And everybody got into it, and it was another banner moment for me. I had a great time with this match, just yelling my head off.
Did that make up for the souvenir cup?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a night of highs and lows. But overall,
oh my God, it's the best of times, the worst of times.
Indeed, but overall, it was a very positive experience, and I was super happy to be there.
Sure.
But great match. People were super into it. All the seats around me were filling in at this point, and right next to me, I had a lovely and my little section was a nice mix of wrestling nerds,
sure,
and families.
Right.
And you really WWE at this point, I mean, it's wild because it's not a cheap night. When you factor in just the seats, and then you got parking, you got a meal, you got merch for a family of 4.
Cool.
You're looking at
a house family.
It's not a cheap prospect. And that audience last night, over 15,000 strong last night in Charlotte, North Carolina, and predominantly made up of families.
Wow.
Predominantly families, I'd have to say. I mean, definitely a lot of wrestling nerds, but it was a family.
It was
affair.
families and chin straps, huh?
It was families and neck beards. But also just to stay on the demographic for a little bit. I mean, it was a lot of families, old folks, not super old folks. Like there were, I wouldn't say many people like into their 60s. So there were, that was kind of a cutoff, but you had.
Well, you know why?
Why is that?
Because Norman Reigns wasn't there.
Norman Reigns wasn't there. So you had, and you had like, sort of like, rednecks. You had sort of, wrestling nerds. You had like kind of like rock and roll looking guys like me and some other guys.
Rich people looking?
You had some people that had some money. You had some people that obviously didn't have money. You had people in costumes. You had people out of costumes. Black folks, Latino folks. Just a wide swath of
how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel great, because it's in this fucking country.
Where most of the other than
well, in this fucking country, we're so divided, but really it's rich people and fucking poor people. That's the only lines. And so this was like the mass assemblage of poor people coming together to unwisely spend their money on pretend underwear fighting, but goddamn having a good time doing it.
I know you're straight edge, but would you say the vast
there's a lot of alcohol being consumed?
What mostly real American lager? Would you guess, or not so much?
Oh, so real American lager, this lucrative business partnership that WWE has entered into, was available at 2 places in this entire arena.
Oh, you could
only 2.
Yeah.
And the reason I know that is the one time before the show even started, they put on the screen Real American Lager with no mention of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Just Real American Lager available at this place and this place.
Sure.
And that was it. So I think that's a buyer's remorse right there. They're not pushing the Hulk Hogan.
Well, did you see people in line for it, or did you not?
I don't know where it was fucking available. I mean,
well, they literally told you. They told you the 2 places.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and see if I can.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Not a big seller.
Okay. But they didn't boo.
There was no one. I booed because I think I was the only person in the arena that noticed, because they put it on the screen before the place had completely seated, before the show started.
I feel like Charlotte, not the worst area for Real American Lager.
I don't know. If they were in the mood for one, they would be hard pressed to know where to get it.
Well, they literally told you the 2 places.
Let me tell you this again. Once.
Very quietly.
Before anybody, with no fanfare, and before anybody sat down. They don't want people drinking that beer.
You don't think so?
And this fucking thing doesn't want to rewind. Okay, we're just gonna do that. There it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we haven't even got past the first fucking match. You gotta you gotta let me roll.
Yeah.
With a little bit
roll.
of this. So notable things after this: the Gunther promo that he came out, sort of in the style of Jey Uso. I thought was tremendous. It got exactly the right reaction it should have gotten in the arena. I feel like I think people possibly feel shortchanged that they didn't get the multiple yeet.
Did they not? Did they? So they didn't.
That was not a thing.
Okay.
Neither before the show, after show. At no point.
I think they could have lived with that instead of the Cody match.
Well, it's interesting. We're gonna get there. But I don't know. I feel like that's the right call to make, though, because that could burn itself out.
Yeah.
And hold on, let me get it. That could burn itself out if they don't sort of keep it special. But it's like a double-edged sword, though, because it's like, God, if I go see the Rolling Stones, I want to hear Satisfaction. And at this point, it's like if I go to WWE and Jey Uso was there, I want the whole thing.
Here's where I'm at. I'm glad it was not on television. That I support because you don't want to burn out the viewers on that.
But the people live.
But they should have given just like even a commercial break, whatever.
Well, they sort of got it on his exit.
Yeah.
So which is different, but everybody still got to do the thing and
so I'll take that. But that's it. I think just a lap. As I said, I think 50-50 would have taken a yeet lap from beginning to end over Cody versus Carmelo.
That was a really good match, though. I'll get there. So, but the Gunther thing, I thought that whole segment was great. But again, if you watch the show, you know my opinion. This is like we're still 10 weeks out from WrestleMania, and I don't see how they're going to maintain this level of momentum for 10 weeks. So I still feel like it would be very advisable at some point, either
a beat down,
an injury, or I think it would do more for the Jay character to just have him voluntarily, like, I need to go away and do the Rocky training. I think that'd be great.
But I'll take an injury.
An injury would work too, and an injury would work too, and that seems like probably is more something that they would do. Another notable segment, promo segment from last night was the New Day segment, which was sort of a hallelujah moment for me. I was like, finally, because they had such a hot start for their heel turn, and then it's like they haven't gotten out of the blocks for months now because they keep doing we're going to come out and the audience shuts us down and we don't even get to say anything. And I talked last week about how effective Logan Paul is with that, where he just talks to it. Yesterday on my way to the show, I was having my weekly conversation with my buddy Greg. We talked about wrestling a whole lot, and I was like, man, they have just killed this New Day turn for me because they haven't been able to make their case, and that's a good thing about like heels in this era, it's like, they got a point, obviously if they're right or not, they believe they're right. Sure. And they haven't been able to make the case. Well, last night they made their case and it was awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, I think that the problem with the New Day is the timing, because they did this with, we're 10 weeks away from WrestleMania. It's forever. We see the War Raiders, and they gave a very I love those guys. Very generic promo, and I think we're just kicking the can, with the Creeds. They're doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's just to get a nice win with the War Raiders and until they get to New Day, which I think is all the way at Mania, which is over 2 months away. So we have to get. So I think they were looking at the calendar and they're just like, the New Day is like, hey, we're ready. Just like, yeah, let's pause for 3 weeks. And they're like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they did want to buy themselves some more time. That's why they dragged it out. Because I feel like where they're at now after last night, they're right back to, at least with me, my feelings of when they turned initially.
That's been week 2.
Where it's like, bang, okay, yeah. So now,
but I think the timing was wrong.
Now I'm back into it. But then it got a little weird. And I know I said a hallelujah moment. Maybe it was because this was still stuck in my head. Xavier Woods at the end of it is like, and you all should thank God for the New Day, and you should all get down on your knees and put your hands in the air. And I guess that's kind of a callback to their origins as sort of a church group, you know. So maybe that's
what I liked them.
Maybe that's what it was, and it felt a little weird. But then, in straight up wrestling psychology terms, then it got super weird because the baby faces come out to defend the honor of their fallen comrade, Rey Mysterio, and they come out and it's 3-on-2 against the heels. It's like that just took the air out of the whole thing for me.
Well,
you know?
All right. So here, I have a list of questions. Here's one of the questions. So New Day's doing their shtick. They're getting heat. It's great. Everyone's playing along. Everything's wonderful, right? They're talking about Rey Mysterio. The music hits for the LWO.
Yeah.
Is everyone like, yes, Rey Mysterio, and then like, oh, the other 3.
That was not the vibe.
Okay.
But
they were with it.
They were with it.
Okay.
Specifically in my section, this is going to come into play on our next topic. A lot of Latino presence in my section, so they were down.
So just LWO was enough.
That was enough.
Okay, good. Because I don't think they've done the LWO in any great service over the past forever.
Yeah, I agree, and but that was no hindrance to their reception last night. But just you see what I'm saying though, from wrestling psychology.
No, I saw the 3-on-2. I'm just like, I don't like this, but these guys are assholes, so I'll allow it. And the LWO is less than.
Right. So 3 of them kind of equals 2 of the New Day
wrestling match.
So that segment was fantastic.
Sure.
I was super on board, and then. You see the I believe this was right after that, and then you see the promo for Penta, and as soon as he appeared on screen, it was like the vibe shifted, and people were fucking stoked.
Okay,
and it's like
over like Rover.
Yeah, and so I was texting back and forth with Greg, and I was like, dude. When Penta comes out, this is going to be like the pop of the night because people are all ready. And maybe it was also just the section that I was in, again, with a strong Latino presence. But yeah, he comes out and people were super into it. Maybe not as big a pop as I anticipated, but still, palpable. As one of our favorite words here on Wrestling After Show. And one of the and he's had a lot of hard-fought contests, on Raw in all the weeks since he's made his debut. I felt like, and maybe this is just because in person, I felt like that this was maybe his toughest challenge yet with Pete Dunne last night.
I think they've all been kind of comparable, but I've liked all the picks so far. I think everything they're doing with Penta is great. Yeah. Like, this is the story that I could not have written this any better.
I agree, except for the one flaw in the presentation of Penta. And they were talking about this last night with Wade Keller. Again, shout out to Wade Keller and his team over at Pro Wrestling Torch. Their YouTube wrap-up of the show last night got me from the parking lot in Charlotte to my driveway in Danville, Virginia. Perfect timing. 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
I mean, no, 2 hours, 3 minutes. Sorry. 2 hours, 3 minutes. Perfect timing. Great. But one thing they pointed out is the commentary presentation of Penta has been a little off. And so I was really paying attention because basically on his debut, they gave him the presentation on commentary as if he was Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
Touting his high flying abilities and all that. It's like, no, that's his brother. Like, you know, and
he's still good, but he's not they're missing what makes Penta is amazing. It's the aura.
They're talking about innovative offense and all this stuff. It's like, nah,
he's doing a Canadian destroyer. They're Mexican.
And they definitely that was an issue. Like I watched the whole show this morning, just so I could get all the commentary beats and everything, and see how everything came across on TV. And the commentary again was off, but I love the involvement of Ludwig Kaiser. And this is a great match. And I noted to the guy in front of me, he was super into it, and he was really into everything all night. And he kept turning around talking to me, and so I was talking to him. It was one of those little back and forths you get at the wrestling show, and it was him and his wife and his kid, and they were Latino. And when Penta was done, they were like, "All right, we're good." That's all they came for.
Did you move down a seat?
I did move down.
I love to hear that.
Because he turned around and he was like, "We're leaving. You can have our seats." And then, so
did you bring the blowhard behind you with you?
No, I didn't. We kept our distance. So so this guy leaves, and at this point, and this was the kind of the lull in the show. Like I said, up to this point, everything had really been rolling with either backstage pre-tapes or the in-crowd during the commercial break promo interview segments. But at this point, it was kind of slowing down a little bit. So I was like, okay, well, now it might be a good time to do a little exploring, because when I first got there, looking around for souvenir cups, saw the two. I believe there were only two main merch.
Yeah. And I went to the first, I think the first WWE house show post-COVID. And John Cena was there, and wrestling at a house show. It was a super show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, that bald spot's huge. but they had the two merch set up, and holy, printing money, brother.
So what they have is they have perfected. They have a very nice MSO is what I call it. It's the money separating operation. They're just separating their emergency cashectomy is what it is. They are just separating you from your money, and they've gotten really good at doing it. So they have these two merch areas, and they have them corralled, and you sort of enter this corral area, and then just sort of find where you think the quickest route to the table is going to be. And at the beginning of the night, when I was walking around, it was insanity.
Sure.
And there was no way.
Yeah. So that's what I went, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the it was the first gimmick post COVID.
Right.
I believe that the John Cena shirt was the John Deere shirt. And I was just like, I want that.
Yeah.
Just something different. And, and I see the long lines. I'm like, oh, I'm not waiting this line. And then at the end, I go, and it was like a semi line. And I'm just like, I'm not even waiting a semi line for a John Cena shirt.
Right. So I decide now might be a good time to, stretch my legs, go to the bathroom, and maybe go down and check the merch situation.
Because you got a text.
And this is when, and ironically, this is when you texted me and you were like, "What's up with those Jey Uso Charlotte Hornets crossover shirts?" And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go see if I can find one." So I went to the first little merch area, and still pretty congested, but not as bad as earlier.
Yeah.
So it was more navigable. So I kind of get into one area, and I'm looking, and I'm not seeing the Hornets merch. So I'm like, all right, well, let me go over to the next one. So then I go over to the other one, and I'm looking. Not only do they not have that particular shirt that was exclusive to the show last night, at this point in the show, there is no Jey Uso merch available at all.
Because they bought it all.
Other than I saw the phone hands and maybe glasses, but no T-shirts. All gone.
All gone. Yeah.
All gone. Insane.
God bless them. All right, so Penta what? They have the Penta shirt.
They had the white Penta shirt with his like caricature on it.
They didn't have the hoodie.
I did not see it. I did not see a hoodie.
I've been debating on ordering the hoodie.
I saw. So as I'm approaching, there was a lot of not the official championship belts, but sort of the more junior size championship belts. There was a championship belt emblem, but just the emblem on a giant chain you could get. There were multiple CM Punk wristbands. There were Jey Uso armbands or the arm sleeves. You could get those, and the CM Punk sleeves, that have the X on them. And all the Cody stuff was terrible. I want to buy Cody merchandise, but it's all horrible.
Yeah.
So
he makes it hard.
He does. And I'm like, I'm wearing a CM Punk t-shirt, of which I have 2 already at home.
I have 3 CM Punk t-shirts.
So I'm like, I don't want to get the other.
And I want the new one, but I'm just like, I don't need a 4th CM Punk.
I don't want to get another CM Punk t-shirt. But as I'm getting closer, now they're getting to the point where it's like they have the merch hanging up, and it's like that's the last one. Now these things are coming down, and so they have the John Cena farewell T-shirt. I'm like, okay, that's gonna be it. And then they pull it off the wall, like right in front of me, like, oh, come on. And then they put it back. And I'm like, what size is it? It's a small.
Yeah. So the John Cena shirt, was it a Charlotte? Or
no.
It was the Los Angeles that we saw from the beginning.
Well, no, it's just the red one that's sort of for.
Oh, I haven't seen the red one yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I feel like I had seen it, and it was just sort of like
because when his first appearance, when he made the announcement, it was the Dodgers colors,
right?
And then where was the San Antonio?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember what color.
I don't think there's been site specific. John Cena merch. So anyway, did not get the Cena shirt. Ended up just getting the CM Punk trucker hat, and it's great for me.
Yeah.
And then I got the official program.
Oh,
which this thing was fucking. It's nice. It's super nice. Slick, heavy paper,
sure.
Like treasury size. I mean, it's huge, and all live event photography. It's very live event oriented. It's not, there's no like press photos in it or backstage photos. It's all, basically in-ring live event photos. And I start flipping through it, and it's like Odyssey Jones.
Oh,
Isla Dawn. Baron Corbin. And it's like the way because the way it was laid out, you open it up and it's like first page Cody Rhodes spread, second spread Roman Reigns, sure. And so all your top people are like sort of at the at the front of the book, but then as you get to the middle, it's like more mid card, and the irony of so many like double page spreads, it would be like 4 people and be like fired, still here, and so. It was ironic, but it was very well made.
Does it have the insert with tonight's card?
No, it didn't have that.
That was the whole reason we bought it back in the day.
Sure.
Yeah, because you're literally buying like WWF magazine. But you got the insert.
So I got the program and the hat, and I feel pretty good about it. And then I was like, I'm going to go, because at the other merch thing that I just been previously at, they still had the Cena shirt. And I was like, went back over there and I was like, nah, I'm going to go back in. So what I ended up missing, though, I missed the Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez Elimination Chamber qualifying match, which had the Bianca Belair and Naomi run-in.
As cheerleaders.
I missed,
cutesy cheerleaders.
Yeah, but did you catch the reference?
No.
I guess not. Bring It On.
Well, yeah.
The cheerleading movie.
Yeah,
specifically, that was like the color scheme and everything.
Yeah, but I don't. This is not the Bianca Belair. I don't need Naomi in this role, much less Bianca Belair.
That was the
cutesy cheerleader. February 2025 is not the Bianca Belair or Naomi that I
think they were supposed to be not the cutesy cheerleader, but the reference to Bring It On is they were like the heel sort of black girl cheerleaders from Bring It On.
Don't care. I don't need the.
Why it's significant though is I don't know if you also noticed Bianca Belair had a grill in last night.
I did catch that.
So these are your subtle
hints,
heel tease.
So are you thinking that both Naomi and Bianca Belair beat Jade Cargill's ass?
Fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
I think that. Well, hold on. So I missed that. I missed the Ludwig Kaiser crowd promo, which I was kind of bummed out about that because I love that guy's promos. And I missed the Seth Rollins promo, and I missed quite a bit now when I went back and watched it today.
Okay, but you're back for the main event.
But now I sit back down in time for the entrance of Seth Rollins. But you had a question.
No, well, based on the win by Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
Who is your women's elimination chamber pick? Because you keep acting like they're done with this whole Jade Cargill thing. They're not. I know you're hoping that if you say it loud enough or click your heels together, that's going to happen. It's not. It's happening.
Yeah, no,
they've drug Liv Morgan into this.
Well, now, they've drug it back into existence. Well, I mean, they have to get something out of Jade Cargill. Yeah. They have to get something out of her, and if they're gonna wheel her out, they've had her sequestered for months at this point, and now they're
just learning how to become the greatest wrestler ever.
And they're gonna wheel her out to maybe get a little, to get something out of her at WrestleMania. I guess
Bill Kazmaier in WCW.
But yeah, I think they're gonna turn Bianca and Naomi. I don't want to get into.
You want to save it?
I want to save it for next week for a preview. Okay. But I do want to make a note of because I didn't see this match live, but they were talking about it on the Torch after show, and I saw it today. The alignment and presentation of Roxanne Perez is all fucked up.
Yeah. Raquel Rodriguez is a dud. However, I don't mind the Tamina Snuka of it all. She can be the heater for someone. That's fine.
I'll agree because I've had problems with Rodriguez in the past, and it's like basically you look at her, and I think when she came out in the Rumble, I was like, whatever it is, she ain't got it.
Yeah,
But watching that match today, I thought she made. I thought they made each other look really good. I think that in ring that match was great last night. But you're just trying to act like there you go. You got the touch.
I do.
They're acting like people don't watch NXT.
Yeah.
And NXT has 800,000 viewers every week.
Yeah.
And Roxanne Perez is like the top girl heel on that show. And they bring her out for her Monday Night Raw debut as the babyface.
Well, no, I think she was the heel, but she was the lesser of two evils.
She wasn't the heel. She was maybe a heel, but that's not how.
Yeah,
but she fought,
still garbage.
She fought from underneath in that entire match.
Yeah.
So it's like, so the psychology of it all, it's like, again, people watch NXT.
Yeah.
And people that watch NXT are in that building and are familiar with her. It's not this isn't the days of Vince,
another territory,
or Vince just pulling people up from NXT, and just because you don't fucking know who these people are, people know who they are, and they sort of just like shit canned everything they've done with her.
Yeah. And the commentary is Cinderella's story, Heath.
Yeah, she's like the prodigy. So that was all screwy.
Yeah.
I thought the match itself was okay. Yeah. And honestly, I kind of thought she would win, but but we'll get to our Elimination Chamber predictions next week.
Okay. Main event,
TV main event, Finn versus Seth. You know me, I'm not going to cheer for Finn Balor because I don't go to live wrestling events and cheer for heels.
Yeah. But
I'm not going to fucking cheer for Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So I was kind of checked out for most of this.
Oh, I thought it was a incredible match. B, the Heartbreak Kid homage tights by Rollins. I was for that as well.
Oh, I didn't even pick up.
And I'm not even a big HBK guy. But I just like throwback shit.
I was checked out for, like I said, I was checked out for a good portion of this match, but then it got good.
Yeah,
it definitely got good.
So explain. So you went back and watched. So you saw how the commentary team put it over. So it looked like the pedigree is a 1, 2, 2 and 9/10. Finn Balor kicks out. Seth Rollins looks at the ref like, "Hey, you fucked up."
Yeah.
Commentary is putting it over. Hey, something happened here. The crowd is chanting at the ref.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm just, and as a viewer, I'm just like, did they fuck up? And I'm watching the rest of the match. I'm like, they had a fake fuck up spot to get the crowd in, and it fucking worked.
Well,
did it there?
Okay.
Because as a viewer, it worked big time.
So this match was, like I said, I was a little checked out. People around me were super into Seth Rollins, which, sidebar, Seth Rollins is super over. He had as the baby face last night.
Yeah.
High fives to the ring. After the match, I don't know how much of this you saw on television, signing a bunch of autographs on the way back up. But like super happy to be there, happy to see everybody. Everybody was happy to see him. 3 weeks ago, this motherfucker put Roman Reigns out of wrestling for the foreseeable future, and it's like,
yeah, he did it to Mr. Time Off.
But why do that if you're not gonna? If you're just you're like, it didn't even happen. So it's like now, so that would have been a great moment to turn him heel or do something, but it's just like, nope, that's the thing that happened. Yeah. And Roman Reigns not on TV, and so that's wild. I think that's wild. But so this match is kind of like going on, and I'm kind of like looking around. I'm looking at the screen, looking at my phone, just listening to people, looking up,
blind girls,
looking up, and then like. I'm like, oh, okay, I was like, this is kind of getting good. I liked it. It had the hot start. I thought that worked well for it. But people started to, all of a sudden, I kind of like look up, and people are doing the Firefly thing.
Yeah. And did you see what it looks like on Netflix? Like, I don't know if the resolution's that much, but it trails.
So people start doing the Firefly thing kind of organically and out of nowhere. You couldn't tell on TV what started it. And I was in the building and I kind of wasn't paying attention, but I couldn't tell what started it either. And first I thought was like, was there a glitch? Yeah. One of those, Y6 glitches. And then I had the thought, I was like, oh, that would actually make sense if they were going to come after Judgment Day. But they're on SmackDown, and none of that shit makes sense anyway. None of it matters. So people I think honestly, people just like got bored.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you were paying attention, but so the resolution on Netflix is incredibly greater than USA Network.
Yeah.
Or just cable in general. And the fire, it leaves a trail. If I'm Netflix, I'm banning fucking cell phones. It's not cool looking. It
was weird,
ridiculously distracting.
I'll have to go back and look at it. I did notice some things lighting wise that they were doing last night. They have a gigantic, powerful white light that is just sort of by itself, like on kind of like under the 200 section, so it's like kind of the top of the lower bowl. And that's the commercial light. Like when that light is off, that's how people know. Yeah. So and when it's on, it's like So I noticed that going off and on a few times. But no, so the Firefly thing was totally weird, out of nowhere. Go ahead.
Okay, so the ref spot.
Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I start paying attention because it's like, oh, this is like some cool back and forth. They're telling the story with both of them like selling the ribs, selling the legs and everything. And he's working on that leg. And right when I was like, okay, dude, like you're working on this leg, let's see a hold, and then it's like boom, sharpshooter. I was like, oh, this is fucking great. And there had already been some near falls up to this point. So sharpshooter, boom, pedigree, 1, 2, 3. And everybody in my section, because everybody's counting.
Yeah.
And they all thought it was over.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't over.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, fucking now everybody's pissed. So from where we were, unless you were watching the screen, if you were just watching the ring, it was imperceptible. Like you didn't, it actually looked like
3.
It looked like he kicked out, but like very, very late.
Okay.
But very late. Yeah. Today I watch it and that's a botch. I mean, in my opinion, it's one of those deals where the ref knows this is not supposed to be the finish. And like Finn just didn't kick out early enough. And the ref decided, because the ref's hand comes down. It's 1, 2, and it comes down. And then Finn kicks out. And it's pretty close. So I was like, oh, that's what people were pissed about. Because I mean, it should have been 3. And but I thought the way they did it on TV, and especially Seth, the way he sold it, because he just kind of turns around and he's pissed, and then he does the suck. I was like, they kind of, made lemonade right there.
And I'm wondering if that was. I would not put it past them, because I feel. I mean, I love Finn Balor, and if you're in that, if you're in the locker room and as a brother of Finn Balor, you want more for him than what he gets. Yeah. And if I'm Seth, I'm just like, dude, here's the fucking spot, dude. Let's do a spot where it should have been over and it's fucked up. And then it's just like, oh,
let's
fuck.
Bury the ref.
Let's bury the ref, and it's just like, oh, fuck, is Finn going to win?
Yeah.
Because it did. You entered the match. Yeah, you entered the match going, I know for a fact Seth Rollins wins this match. There's no advance about it. And then you see there, like, oh, fuck.
What you're asking, that was the feeling. That was the feeling that spot ended up creating, is because, I mean, I feel like it was probably going to be a false finish anyway, but the fact that it was like kind of fucked up and the match continued, it's like, oh, okay, well, now you're on borrowed time.
Yeah. Is Punk gonna fuck you?
And then that, but it definitely got my entry. I was like, okay, shit, we might see something.
Yeah.
Because that's always the thing when you're at wrestling, is like, you know pretty much what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
But the thing that the most tantalizing thing is like what we might see.
Yeah.
And then it's like when you have that realization, it's like, oh, this is what we might see Finn Balor win it. And so I
Head stage. And we are back. This is crazy. Yeah, let's do a quick outro.
Let's wrap it up. Goddamn. Yeah, I don't want. We're on a different camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. There we go.
Yeah, we're back.
So.
Yeah, we're gonna lose you guys quickly.
I don't know what that means. Anyway, it was a hell of a show. The main event. Oh my god, damn.
Snake bit at this point.
This is the worst. The post show main event was Cody Rhodes versus Carmelo Hayes, which I think speaks volumes about their faith in Carmelo Hayes. They had a great 6-minute match. Cody beat Carmelo with 3 crossroads, which I don't think is the move.
Yeah.
That beats Roman Reigns. You shouldn't need three crossroads to beat Carmelo Hayes. Anyway, it was a great moment. I had a great time. Super bummed that CM Punk wasn't there though.
Yeah.
That was the biggest low of all the highs and the lows. But it was just really cool to be able to partake in the live experience of WWE in this particular era, the Netflix era. And they were like I said, the MSO, the money separating operation, is firing on all cylinders for them right now, and I can't wait for them to take more of my money.
There we go. All right, with that, we will see you guys next week. I am in Connecticut. I leave Tuesday. We'll see when we film this. To join me live for the Survivor premiere, go to besttriviaever.com. That's besttriviaever.com. He's Heath Haynes. I'm Jonny Fairplay.
Like, share, subscribe, comment. Love it.
All the things.